Jaclyn Hill is just embarrassing at this point. Jaclyn tends to play the victim card before every single makeup launch she has, and a lot of the time this works in her favour because a lot of people feel sorry for her, sympathise with her, and then buy her crusty products. So recently Jaclyn has decided she's coming out with an eyeshadow palette called Strawberry Feels, alongside a few other products. Now people are obviously freaking out because whenever Jaclyn launches something new, we never know if it's going to end up giving people infections or whatnot. This is because years ago Jaclyn launched her lumpy bumpy lipsticks that had metal shards in a lot of the products. Some even had hairs sticking out of it. It was a massive catastrophe. Since then Jaclyn apologised, but this year she's trying to rewrite history about her lipsticks and trying to make out like the internet was lying about her problematic lipstick launch. In the past, Jaclyn has talked about her failed lipstick line, saying things like the following: "This launch humbled me, unlike anything I've ever experienced. I'm not being dramatic when I say it ruined my life for a while, but after I made it through the storm, I really saw the situation for what it was and learned from it, and for that I'm forever grateful. Turn your pain into your power." So a lot of Jaclyn's fans at this point in time were impressed with her ability to move on and were looking forward to future launches. That wasn't until a recent snarky comment she'd made. She'd recently taken to her Instagram story in an attempt to rewrite history before her latest makeup launch. She'd said, "Not me still wearing my lipsticks that people claimed were contaminated, filled with mold and harming people. Bad only." She'd then added a screenshot of a message someone sent her asking, "So were they not contaminated?" To which she'd responded, "LMAO, no. 2% of my lipsticks had white fuzzies and air bubbles in them. 2%. That's how loud the internet is. All the people who claim there was mold, contamination, etc. lied for views, and I sat back and took it and let it destroy me. I will never do that again." Does Jaclyn seem to think that the white fuzzies that were all over her lipsticks were not a contamination? That's what heaps of people are now wondering, and she's receiving quite the backlash for these idiotic comments. Some people were quick to remind Jaclyn that they had sharp pieces of metal in their lipsticks, so Jaclyn should really stop downplaying the travesty that was her rotten, bubbly lipsticks. Now Jaclyn has gone in depth many times before in the past about how traumatic her failed lipstick line was. She'd made videos, countless Instagram stories, she even posted this video before one of her latest launches, which kinda looks like a cry for sympathy, if you ask me. As I'm awaiting my new launch on Thursday, I can't help but think about all the past launches and how much has changed my career, the industry and social media. My Jaclyn Hill palette created with Morphe, we broke worldwide records this day, 220,000 palettes in 42 hours. Champagne Pop, this highlighter broke every record in Sephora's history. I'll never forget getting that call and sobbing my eyes out. When I shot this campaign, I was in the middle of my divorce and no one knew about it except my close friends and family. We shot 6 full looks in 2 days while I was dealing with the most heartbreaking time of my life. By the time this launched, I was dating Jordan, and this was one of the most successful launches of my career. I remember shooting this campaign thinking, there is no way this palette is going to sell as well as the others, but I was passionate as hell about it. I was very challenged on the shoot in ways I'd never been before. It was not easy, but it was one of the biggest paychecks of my life. Then this happened. I'll never forget this day. I had my mum by my side this whole time. My family was there cheering me on. I had the love of my life by my side. My dreams were finally coming true. Little did I know the hardest time of my entire life, including my divorce and the death of my father, was about to happen. I cried every day for months, deleted my social media in a panic, didn't know how to girl boss, felt completely alone and confused because I didn't have answers. When I was in Italy developing my highlighters, I forced myself to get out of my hotel room to get content for you guys one day, but I spent the rest of the time throwing up 24/7 from anxiety and excessive drinking. I tried so hard to be inspiration for you guys, but I was seriously dying on the inside. Photos like this were followed by panic attacks, me getting drunk and puking all day. I was an absolute disaster because everything I'd ever dreamed of was shattered. Then I launched more lipstick products. I seemed confident, but I was terrified and so insecure. I was being called fat, ugly, washed up and irrelevant by thousands of people on the internet every day during this. This was the most humbling time of my life. I had lost so much money, fame and fortune, but I chose to keep going because I knew this was my passion. Own your mistakes and who you are. Oh, like how she's currently doing? Then Ulta Beauty believed in my brand. When I felt so low, they had my back. I cried so much this day, especially seeing my highlighters in store. It was such a painful process to get here. So weird being one of the most successful beauty influencers in the world and then very quickly becoming the most humbled. When I tell you guys I was sobbing posting all of that last night, literally fell asleep crying. It's still so emotionally draining for me to look back at everything. And here we are, another beautiful makeup launch tomorrow for my brand, Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics. Never give up. And then she responded to someone's comment. She'd said, "Don't worry guys, I'm bringing back the lipsticks. I think of it as my redemption collection." Jaclyn's latest launch is bound to upset consumers, especially seeing as she's recently voiced her true opinions on her failed lipstick line. Here was a sneak peek at her reviewing her own eyeshadow palette, where she'd even said one of the colours look like shit when they're in the palette.
Okay, so on my eyes today, I am wearing, of course, the new Strawberry Feels palette because it's launch day. I'm wearing the shade Shortcake right there, all over my lid. And that shade is super deceiving because it looks kind of ugly in the pan, honest to God. I think it's like the color, like this hot pink fuchsia, that kind of makes it look different. But when it's on the eyes, it is the most beautiful, pale, muted pink. But I have Shortcake, I have Picnic Pie, I have a little bit of Cobbler, and then I have Lemonade all over the lower lash line, blown out into my blush, and then I have Picnic on the inner corner. I will swatch all of these for you guys though. Obviously I have no filter on at all right now so you can see it, but let me show you how different they look when they're swatched. Alright you guys, there is the palette with no filter. You guys can see actual swatches. I'm standing by a window right now so you guys can see it in daylight, but it is a little cloudy outside. But you can see that third shade in right there, that is Shortcake. And like I said, in here, it just doesn't look that pretty. But on the skin, you see what a beautiful muted pink it is. Like, oh my God. I'm obsessed with this palette, you guys. Like, oh, I'm obsessed. The more I look at it, I'm like, yeah, bitch, I did that.
Jaclyn has been caught up in many dramas since her failed lipstick line. That was kind of just the start of it. Now people are starting to point out the unhealthy influence she's having on women's diets. Someone said on Twitter, "Why are we dismissing how awful of an influence Jaclyn Hill has been on so many teenage and young adult women's diets and body image the last 6 months, ever since she decided to get healthy, aka barely eat anything, use appetite suppressants, and work out insane amounts. Not to mention, she's promoting the products that she takes to suppress appetite, curb cravings, and other weight loss remedy retail. It's truly disheartening because their target audience is young girls and women." She'd also been called out in this viral TikTok of lying and deceiving when it comes to filters that make her look slimmer, and then she's trying to promote food/product sponsorships to her viewers. It's all about the money for Jaclyn. Anything to get a quick coin.
People hyping me up in my DMs right now. You guys are so amazing. I don't know what the hell I ever did in life to deserve you guys, but so many of you are saying how my face looks so much thinner and how you can see like a change in me and like I have a glow or an aura, just all these just different sweet things in my DMs.
She posted that after she uploaded a series of stories where she was using a filter that completely slimmed her face and her nose and her lips. I tried it. It was slimming. She then goes on to say she doesn't want to give away her secrets yet because she wants us all to watch her series on YouTube about how she did it. So again, lying, pushing probably food, products, techniques, diet fad, whatever, to get a slimming face that is being produced by Instagram filters.
Jaclyn Hill is very used to getting in makeup scandals, and just scandals full stop. She tends to play the victim card before every single new product launch/affiliate product she promotes, and fans seem to think that it has something to do with getting attention, which means more views, which ultimately means more sales. So right before her recent launch, Jaclyn took to her Instagram story and cried about one of her dogs who was sick. People instantly started calling her out for this, and someone had said on Twitter, "Always something bad and horrible happens to Jaclyn Hill when she has a new launch." Jaclyn responded, "And honestly, F off. You think I plan to find out my dog is dying 48 hours before I have a launch? Also, at this point, I have 1 or 2 launches every month. I own 2 businesses, but my life will still continue to go on." So what are your thoughts on Jaclyn's response to that tweet? And do you think her latest strawberry collection will be a hit or a flop? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.